Good evening. Thanks for joining me for Trucker Money number 29. If you're new here, it's where we talk about money and finance outside of trucking. You work hard all week, make all that money. What are you going to do with it? You're going to buy more Chrome, or you're going to be smart with your money? Invest it, save it, put it to work, put your money to work to earn more money for you. This is not financial advice, it's just me sharing my personal journey and hopes to inspire you to take charge and build something for yourself. Every week we talk about investments, passive income, what we did to earn extra money, any moves I made as far as investing more money, earning more money, things like that. So this will cover the week of November 23rd through the 27th. As usual, earning just a little bit of money off of YouTube doing this small channel, just kind of getting started. Two more people joined the Mudflap app. So that's $20 for $10 for each person for both of us. Hope you enjoy your discounts on fuel. If you're new to that, check out the Mudflap app. If you pay for your own fuel, use promo code DIYSemi. Get good fuel prices and $10 credit on your account for your first fueling. We got one raise, one dividend increase this week, and that was York Water Company. This is in the passive income portfolio where we put money to work to earn passive income through dividends. York Water Company increased their dividend 4%. So that's a nice little increase from a regulated utility. And just on a side note, just to illustrate kind of the power and effect that this can have through compounding, I do not own this company, but Costco. We're all familiar with Costco, and if you're a reefer hauler, they're probably one of your favorite warehouses to go to. They don't mess around. They get you in and out pretty quick. Costco raised their dividend 42%. They just announced. Now, if you're an investor in Costco, which I'm kicking myself because years ago I thought about buying this company and I just didn't do it. Just never pulled the trigger on it. Don't know why. Just found other things to do, I guess. Boy, I wish I had a 42% increase in the dividend. When you compound that, next year it obviously won't be 42% again, but big jumps here and there really set that compounding off enough to change your life. Holy cow. Anyway, we had 3 companies pay this week in the dividend portfolio. Starbucks with a current yield of 1.83%, Unilever with a current yield of 3.76%, and Royal Bank of Canada, ticker symbol RY, with a current yield of 3.97%. Now, what I want to talk about this week is my top 5 favorite dividend stocks. Not necessarily saying they should be your top 5, just putting it out there for people to look into. Everybody will have their own favorites. I had a really hard time picking my top 5. These are in no particular order. It was hard enough to pick 5, much less rank them. And I guess a couple of ones that didn't make the cut for honorable mentions would be Clorox and Altria, ticker symbol MO, the cigarette company, as well as other things, and ticker symbol O, Realty Income, real estate REIT. So let's jump right into this here. I'm going to kind of move along the screen here from company to company. First one I'll talk about is 3M. 3M has a current share price of $176.89, 3.32% current yield, which is $5.88 per share per year, PE ratio of 20.76, and a payout ratio of 69%. 3M is a massive company, 55,000 plus different products. If you don't touch or use a 3M product in your daily life at some point, chances are you won't even know it, but I'd be shocked. It's probably more than a dozen products in your car that are made by 3M. They make medical, industrial, aerospace, automotive, you name it, they about make it. They've been around since 1902. They're from St. Paul, Minnesota. That 20.76% PE ratio, or 20.76 PE ratio, I like that. 69% payout ratio, upper end of where we want to be. And that's a decent starting yield for a company like 3M. Until recently, the last year or so, 3M it never really went on sale, but been snatching it up a little bit at a time here. Really like that company. Next company I'll talk about is Duke Energy. Current share price of $94.60 with a 4.01% current yield Annually, that's $3.86 per share, with a PE ratio of 3509 and a payout ratio of 141%. Now, these numbers, the PE ratio and the payout ratio, are high. I will give you that. I'm not buying any right now. Excuse me. Now, one thing to remember, like I've said previously, like utilities and REITs and some different companies in different sectors, you have to analyze a little differently because the way accounting is done can make their numbers look a little higher. Like energy company, utilities are very capital intensive. They typically carry a lot of high debt, plus there's real estate involved, so there's depreciation. Can make these numbers look a little different, but I will say this is kind of high right now, and I'm not buying it at the moment. They are an electric utility. They're also into gas, renewables. They're in the Carolinas, Florida, Midwest. They also have wind and solar, fuel cell technology, battery storage, coal, hydroelectric, and natural gas. They're the company you see after every hurricane running around down in the Carolinas and the Southeast and Georgia, running around to get them power lines going again with all them caravans after a caravan of trucks. So I like that company. The next one to talk about here is Pepsi. Everybody knows who Pepsi is. Current share price of $144.60 with a 2.84% current yield. And that annually, that's $4.09 per share. A PE ratio of 28.55. Payout ratio of 81%. So they may have a little trouble growing that dividend as aggressively in the future. Right now, they have a 5-year compound annual growth rate of 7.8%, which is really good. I really like that. In the future, I wouldn't expect it to maintain being that high. For some reason, I can't bring up Pepsi here, so we'll just close that out. They're in the beverages and snack food industry. They got healthy lines like Quaker Oats, bottled water, rice cakes. They also have Frito-Lay. And something interesting about Pepsi is they have a deal with Starbucks to do all the Starbucks cold drinks. So anytime you go into a truck stop and see all them Starbucks bottled coffees, that came from Pepsi. So I like that strategic partnership there. The next one is Procter Gamble. Now this is where it got hard. I had a hard time deciding Procter Gamble or Clorox. I picked Procter Gamble probably just because of the longer term track record, but Clorox is my biggest holding right now. I'll say that. Procter Gamble's high. I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger on buying more. Clorox is way high. Definitely not buying any more of that for the moment. So Procter & Gamble has a share price of $138.61 with a 2.28% yield, and annualized that is $3.16 with a PE ratio of 26.52, a payout ratio of 60%. That's 60%. I like that 60% payout ratio for a great big company. That's low. That's right where I want it to be. The 3.59% compound annual growth rate for the last 5 years. That's kind of low. I'd like to see it a little higher than that. Procter & Gamble, everybody knows who they are, what they make. Their personal hygiene, personal care, cleaning supplies, diapers, vitamins, product lines like Oral-B, Pepto-Bismol, Vicks, toilet paper, Love's diapers. Like I said, that was a really hard decision there. You can't go wrong with either one. Now, the last one we're talking about is like a staple in like everybody's dividend portfolio here that you'll see online or wherever. They've just been a solid company for so many years. That's Johnson & Johnson. Current share price of $144, a 2.81% yield. That's annualized. That's $4.04 per share. With a PE ratio of 22.59 and a payout ratio of 64%. Compound annual growth rate of 6.13%. I really like these numbers. I need to own more Johnson & Johnson. I'd buy it every day if I could. I like that growth rate. We like that. It's a good starting year, nearly 3%. Reasonable payout ratio and reasonable PE. Well, 64%. That's actually, I like that payout ratio. It's better than reasonable. Been around since 1886 with 100 plus different brands. Now, Johnson & Johnson is like the master of acquisitions. They say, well, the threats are startup companies, off-brands, generics, somebody coming out with different products. Well, guess what? Johnson & Johnson is really good at when somebody like that comes along, they acquire them, snatch them up, bring their product line right into Johnson & Johnson. They're very good at that. That's how they got over 100 product lines. They didn't invent them all. Uh, Johnson & Johnson's in a lot of pharmaceutical, personal hygiene, immunology, neuroscience, oncology, medical devices, and surgical products. I bet you didn't know they were in so deep into the medical industry. Everybody thinks like Johnson's baby powder and Tylenol, stuff like that, but they're really deeply entrenched in the medical community. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, my top 5. Like I said, doesn't have to be yours, but maybe I've thrown something out there you want to take a closer look at. So everybody take care, and we will see you next week.